Mafia mercilessly took life of his wife. He was a normal man who dared to take revenge, and Mafia started to hunt him down. His life was important to him, but now bringing justice to late wife was his only purpose, and on that day, he took his revenge to the next level. Welcome back to Paramount Recaps. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me.
My wife is dying in the hospital because you pulled Sparrow off the market.
The movie kicks off with a dramatic aerial view of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The place is swarming with police choppers, cop cars, and FBI agents all in a frenzy, trying to track down our main guy, Ray Cooper. We catch Ray having a tense conversation with an FBI agent who's clearly freaking out, begging him to follow orders. But Ray, he's got his own plan. Ignoring her, he jumps off a building straight into the water below. The story rewinds a bit, taking us back a few years to a serene forest scene. Here, we see Ray and his family enjoying some peaceful time together. But that calm is short-lived. Soon, we're in a hospital where Ray's wife, Amanda Cooper, gets some devastating news. Her cancer is back, and the options are slim. The doctor drops a glimmer of hope on Ray, mentioning a new treatment that's almost ready for FDA approval, which could be the miracle Amanda needs. But things take a dark turn when Dr. Wu, Amanda's doctor, informs Ray that the drug's manufacturer, Bioprime, has pulled it from the market. This means Amanda's condition will only get worse. As Ray grapples with this nightmare, we get introduced to Simon Keeley, the CEO of Bioprime. He's on a talk show, sparring with U.S. Congresswoman Diana Morgan, who's not holding back her criticism of Bioprime's shady business practices. The two argue over drug pricing, and just when the debate is heating up, Ray calls in. He's livid, telling Keeley that his wife is dying because they yanked the life-saving drug. Ray warns him that if Amanda dies, it's on Keeley's head, basically promising to make him pay for it. As Amanda's health deteriorates, Ray and his daughter, Rachel, spend their final moments with. When Amanda takes her last breath, Ray is shattered. He paces the hospital corridors, sobbing uncontrollably while his daughter sings the lullaby she used to sing to her mom as a kid. 6 months roll by, and Ray is still trying to put his life back together when he gets a call from a journalist named Martin Bennett. Martin claims he can help Ray get justice, saying he has dirt on Simon Keeley that could land him in prison. They arrange to meet up, and Martin gives Ray a series of cryptic instructions to follow different trains and platforms, leading him to a man in a denim jacket, which turns out to be Martin himself. As they finally meet, Martin spills the beans, revealing that Bioprime has been bribing offshore companies all linked Keeley. But things quickly go south. Out of nowhere, a man in a cap stabs Martin in the stomach. Rachel, who had been secretly following them, jumps in to help. In the chaos, Ray disarms the attacker, but not before the man stabs Ray and kicks him out of a window onto the platform below, where Rachel lies injured. Fast forward 24 months, and Rachel is a different person. She's taken up training, determined to be ready for anything. Meanwhile, Congresswoman Morgan and Simon Keeley are on TV again, announcing a new bill to make medication more affordable, hinting that Bioprime has been involved in some shady dealings with the government. Watching this, Ray tells Rachel he's still gunning for Keeley and the man who tried to kill him. The scene shifts, and we see Keeley arriving at an event, with Ray sneaking in from the side, now disguised in a suit he stole. During Keeley's speech, Ray plays it cool, pretending to spill whiskey on him. Keeley heads to the bathroom to clean up, and Ray seizes the moment, taking out Keeley's security guards and cornering Keeley with a knife. Ray demands answers about Martin Bennett's murder and the bribes, but Keeley deflects, pointing the finger at someone named Vinod Shah. Suddenly, one of the guards attacks Ray, leading to a brutal fight that ends with Ray accidentally shooting a guard in the head. In a desperate move, Ray finishes off Keeley. Ray rushes home, shouting at Rachel to pack their things. Meanwhile, FBI agent Sarah Meeker is questioning Keeley's remaining security, who identifies Ray as the man who threatened Keeley's life. The FBI quickly puts out an alert, keeping a close watch for any sign of Ray or his vehicle. Rachel, trying to clear her father's name, makes a call to Agent Meeker from a payphone, insisting Keeley's death was an accident. Meeker tries to get Rachel to buy a burner phone and call her back, but Rachel hangs up, heading to a motel where Ray is catching some sleep. As they rest, operatives quietly surround the building. But Ray, always alert, wakes up just in time thanks to a bell on the... He quickly rouses Rachel, and they slip out, narrowly avoiding one of the operatives. The action ramps up as Ray takes down an operative at the stairs, using his belt to knock the guy out cold. Moving through the building, Ray encounters another attacker, whom he slams into a wall and stabs with a screwdriver. The fight spills out into the street, where Ray wrestles with the attacker over a gun, eventually shooting him. As the dust settles, the FBI raids Ray's house. Agent Meeker, looking at a family photo, is interrupted by a colleague who confirms that Ray is their main suspect. The tension is palpable as the chase continues. So, the FBI gets a tip that Ray's car was spotted leaving a motel about 70 miles from his house, where a double murder went down. This hints that the guys Ray ran into weren't actually FBI agents, but were Bioprime's goons looking for payback over Simon Keely's death. Next, we see a guy who looks like the one who killed journalist Martin. He's checking out cars to buy, but after the store owner offers to help, the guy casually wipes blood off his blade onto the store owner's jacket. He then steals a car and takes off. Ray and his daughter, Rachel, manage to find a snowy forest to hide out in. Ray walks down a road, mapping out a specific path the car would need to take through. He's getting ready for another showdown with the people out to kill him. Meanwhile, Rachel calls up Detective Sarah, telling her that they're being hunted. During the call, Rachel opens up about her relationship with her mom, and Sarah encourages her, saying she has the strength to guide her father and that her mom would be proud of her. While all this is happening, we learn the name of the killer, Santos. He's busy crafting an explosive shotgun. Ray and Rachel leave the forest and head towards a mansion of Vinod Shah, the guy who supposedly convinced Simon Keely to pull Sparrow off the market. They notice a car lurking in the shadows as they approach. Vinod leaves his house, escorted by a bunch of Chevrolet SUVs. Ray blocks their path and rams one of the cars with an excavator. Santos shows up from the other side and fires his explosive shotgun into the lead SUV, setting it on fire. Vinod tries to escape but is caught by Ray, who holds a gun to his head, demanding to know why he killed Martin. But before Vinod can talk, Santos shoots and kills him. Ray and Rachel quickly jump into their car as Santos fires 3 shots at them, but they manage to get away. Rachel tells her dad that the guy who killed Vinod is the same one who killed Martin, leaving Ray puzzled. He switches cars to lay low, but that plan doesn't last long. While driving, Ray spots the guy who killed Vinod sitting in a diner. Naturally, Ray walks in and sits down next to him. The guy tells Ray that he wasn't hired by Vinod, but by his boss to take out anyone who could expose them. Ray gives the guy 3 options: get them both in trouble with the FBI, go into hiding, or let Ray find his boss and take them out. Santos then reveals that his employer is none other than Congresswoman Diana Morgan, who was initially against Bioprime, but later cut some shady deals and hired Santos to eliminate Ray before he could expose her corruption. Ray and Rachel head back to the city, but the FBI is hot on their trail after locating their vehicle. A police helicopter orders Ray to stop, but he decides to turn the city streets into his personal racetrack. However, traffic blocks his way, and the FBI corners them. Ray and Rachel abandon the car and make a run, but the FBI agents find nothing but an empty vehicle. Ray keeps running, blending into a crowd heading to an NFL game with the agents right on his tail. He makes it into the stadium and heads for the roof. The helicopter hovers overhead, shining its spotlight on it, and the FBI agents cautiously approach. Then, Agent Sarah pours her heart out, telling Ray that what happened to him wasn't fair. Ray has flashbacks, and we finally realize that all the chaos caused by his wife's death wasn't actually his doing. It was Rachel, who was in a trance after both her parents died in the ambulance. Rachel snaps out of it and turns on the FBI agents who were trying to help her. She kicks one off the stretcher, elbows another, and rips off her neck brace. She then gets to the front of the ambulance and tries to run it off the road, causing it to flip onto its side, which gives her a chance to escape. Rachel is then seen lying on a bench, singing the lullaby her mom used to sing to her as a child. Her father appears in her mind, and she pours her heart out, telling him she's not crazy and just wants to stop the people who did this to her and her mom. The scene cuts to Diana Morgan at a press conference, where she's telling her supporters that she's going to clean up the mess caused by the mix of business and politics. We see Rachel at the back of the conference, along with the guy who killed her dad and tried to kill her. The scene shifts again to Rachel getting out of a yellow taxi and climbing some scaffolding to get into the building where Diana Morgan is hosting an afterparty. Rachel scans a key card and enters Diana's office, where Santos ambushes her. He tries to stab her from behind, but she manages to fend him off, though he kicks her out of the window and back onto the scaffolding she had climbed early. Santos fires a few shots as she takes cover behind some crates. But as he searches for her, she stealthily disarms him with her jacket, and they both end up in a pool. The fight gets brutal. Santos pulls out a knife, and so does Rachel. He slashes her forearm and starts to overpower her. He strangles her underwater, and it seems like she's about to take her last breath. But then, her father's voice echoes in her head, telling her to get up. In a desperate fight for her life, she does just that. She turns the tables, grabs Santos' knife, and repeatedly stabs him in the stomach, leaving him lifeless in the pool, which turns red with blood. Barely alive, Rachel makes her way back to Diana's office. She tells Diana that she's going to call the FBI and expose her dealings with Bioprime. Diana tries to manipulate her, offering to use her connections to drop the charges the FBI will press against her. Rachel asks if all the corruption was worth it, pressing a knife to Diana's throat before leaving her traumatized and calling for security. We then see the FBI getting info that Rachel was spotted at Diana Morgan's campaign rally. rally. They're baffled as to why she would target a congresswoman. But soon, they figure it out after Rachel sends them a recording of her confrontation with Diana, revealing that she was part of the corrupt dealings with Bioprime to secure her election. Meanwhile, Rachel is seen fleeing the country on a plane, with her father's voice in the background, saying that the past is like a dream, a mosaic of images and feelings that offer some truth about how we got here.